So tonight we got the final qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank PLE, which takes place this weekend, this Saturday night from Los Angeles, California. Tonight we had two qualifying matches, one for the women and one for the men. The women's match consisting of a debuting, making her, I guess, official Raw debut, Stephanie Vaquer against Ivy Nile and against Liv Morgan. And easily you kind of figured who was going to get the win here. Stephanie Vaquer came in here with a lot of fanfare. She's obviously going to be, in my case, I'm not really familiar with her, but I can tell instantly sort of like what they're trying to do when they get behind somebody like her. And obviously they teased afterwards sort of a possible Rhea Ripley match down in the future, whether that's at a SummerSlam, whether that's at a WrestleMania. That's going to be a massive match. So essentially now we got the entire 6-woman Money in the Bank PLE match set. And I think honestly, when you look at that, I think number one, I think Naomi is probably going to get the win there. And I think that this is probably going to be the match of the night at Money in the Bank, because I feel like with all the women that are in that match, it's just like how can it not be a match of the night caliber? So Stephanie Vaquer advances to Money in the Bank. And also we had CM Punk against AJ Styles and against Grande Americano. So before we get into that, CM Punk kicked off the show here to start Monday Night Raw, where he essentially kind of ran down, why and what he would do if he became Mr. Money in the Bank. This would be his third time becoming Money in the Bank after he was back-to-back Money in the Bank winner back in 2008, 2009. He essentially said that if he won the Money in the Bank championship, he would take a look at who was at the top of the mountain. One being Jey Uso, that being one of his friends. He said that whether it's Jey Uso, it's going to be strictly business. It's not going to be anything personal if he goes after Jey Uso. And he also mentioned John Cena as well, called him a bitch. Said that, he sold out to a bald fraud, that being Dwayne. And, I kind of thought about this at first. I said, maybe if Punk actually qualifies and actually wins the Money in the Bank, maybe that's the gateway to Punk and Cena at SummerSlam. Because Punk is obviously a Raw guy. Cena is obviously a SmackDown guy. So it kind of, I was like, maybe that's the direction they could go in. Yeah, I didn't really think it was like something as likely. But eventually Sami Zayn came out here and told Punk essentially that this Money in the Bank qualifying match is really important. He said that this is a must win for you, because if you don't win, you don't want to see Seth Rollins as Money in the Bank holder, because when he wins the championship, if he is Money in the Bank holder, that's going to be a WWE that's going to be vastly different to what we're all used to. So they kind of played up the importance of this match. And later on in the night, that was the main event. So it was Americano against CM Punk and against AJ Styles, and a very good solid TV match here to end off the show. It was kind of bizarre because to my knowledge, I've never seen CM Punk and AJ Styles have sort of a one-on-one match. Granted, this wasn't a one-on-one match in particular, but there were, instances where you did have, Punk against Styles and so on and so forth. But eventually, Seth Rollins comes out here with his whole crew, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, to cost CM Punk the match. Out comes Jey Uso and Sami Zayn to come out and make the save. And eventually, Grande Americano gets the win over AJ Styles, now cementing Grande Americano as sort of the last Money in the Bank qualifier. And it's very interesting because Chad Gable actually does have a match on that Worlds Collide show that afternoon, and then he has to go straight back. So he's going to pull double duty, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. He's going to pull double duty, so is Stephanie, I assume. And it's crazy because now I think my predictions, when I eventually drop my predictions, I think my predictions is for the Money in the Bank, it's going to be number one, Naomi for the women's side. And I think now it's very evident for me, at the very least, that Seth Rollins isn't going to win Money in the Bank, because Seth Rollins literally cost CM Punk here tonight his opportunity to go to the Money in the Bank match. So I think at Money in the Bank, you're going to see sort of the same scenario play out. Maybe Punk cost Seth Rollins his Money in the Bank opportunity, or maybe we get a returning Roman Reigns that cost Seth Rollins his opportunity at Money in the Bank. And maybe, I think, potentially, to all you LA Knight stands, I think LA Knight has the best shot at winning Money in the Bank this coming Saturday night. Also, one thing about Jey Uso, there was a backstage segment between Gunther and Jey Uso where Gunther essentially told Jey Uso that, you know, everything that he's doing, that's not what a world champion should be doing. That's not world championship business. Gunther, he's essentially going to take the championship next week from Jey Uso because of everything that's going on around him. And it kind of reminded me of the whole Seth Rollins sort of thing that we got at WrestleMania 40, where Seth Rollins has his hands in like every single cookie jar trying to, you know, help out everybody, but eventually that ends up costing him. I don't think Gunther is going to win particularly next week. I think potentially you will see the Money in the Bank winner go on to interfere in this match between Jey and Gunther, because I don't believe Jey is going to beat Gunther for a second time, and I don't believe that Gunther is going to, you know, reclaim the championship after such, you know, little time has passed ever since WrestleMania. And we finally saw a Karrion Kross sighting here on this show. He was in a backstage segment with Sami Zayn. When I really stopped and thought about this, I thought to myself, I said, Karrion Kross, this is a guy who has all the tools. This is a guy who has made this company a lot of money as far as his merchandise goes. So why isn't this guy really featured on the shows week to week? Because before this, I couldn't remember when the last time we saw a Karrion Kross segment that wasn't on commercial breaks. Or better than, when was the last time we saw an actual Karrion Kross match on this show? And we also got continued Judgment Day tensions here with Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. At the very least, in my eyes, they're trying to replicate what they did last summer with Liv Morgan, only this time with Roxanne Perez. So you kind of have to wonder where the story is going to go and when eventually the shit hits the fan, so to speak. So let me know what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw here tonight. Obviously, the win of Americano, I know that's going to be such a divisive topic. Some people, they love it. Some people, they hate it. I'm in the camp of, I think it's a good move, because frankly, Americano isn't going to win at Money in the Bank. Neither should he really. And I think it's going to be sort of, you know, I guess fun to see Americano pull off all these spots. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your thoughts and your reactions to Monday Night Raw, as well as your potential Money in the Bank winners. Like I outlined here in the video, I think it's going to be Naomi and LA Knight. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your thoughts and your reactions to everything. And until next time, I will see all of you on the next one.